asked if there were any like, you know, gay guys that were maybe affiliated with like different, you know, mafia families or
gay.
Yeah,
I'm getting some information now. I think Sammy the Bull might have been gay.
Really?
Yeah, I'll find out. I'll let you know.
And where would that come from? Like how?
I can't reveal my sources yet.
I want to ask you about Sammy the Bull Gravano and the allegations that several channels here on YouTube have been talking about. I've been, you know, we've even briefly spoke about this in some videos, but, you know, and now it seems recently a lot of channels have been bringing this up, in particular, Joey Merlino and his channel. He's really been talking about this, but I want to read an article that was recently posted by Mob Factax, which is another good channel here on YouTube that posts a lot of interesting content, news reels, and that sort of thing about organized crime. And then I want to get your comment on this. Let me read this article from Mob Factax. It says in 2009, a 2009 book proposal titled "Our Father's Blood" by sisters Laura and Karen Garafola alleged that notorious mobster Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano was bisexual, a fact they claim was common knowledge in Brooklyn, and that this hidden past motivated one of the 19 murders he admitted to. According to the proposal, Gravano had a secret relationship with a man, Jack Russo, later discovered by his brother-in-law, Nick Scabetta, also knew Russo and threatened to expose Gravano's secret. Although Gravano's maintained Scabetta was killed in 1978 for being reckless and a liability to the Gambino family, the Garafola sisters claimed the real reason that Scabetta had threatened to out him, a claim supported by the fact that the Scabetta murder remains the only sealed file among Gravano's confessed killing. And then it goes on to say Joey Merlino mentioned this last week. Okay. What's your reply to that, Lewis? What's your thoughts?
Do you remember when we were talking about, and I told you John was going to take out Sammy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to stop there. Now, Jack Russo and Sammy were together. And Scabetta was with Sammy too. So he was jealous of this guy, Russo. It was a love triangle. It was the three of them. So Sammy picked this Russo guy over Scabetta, and he whacked Scabetta. And that's why the government knew the government knew he was a raccoon. So he begged the government to seal all that info on Scabetta. But now this has never been said or disclosed. Al Krieger has that 302 and that info on Nick Scabetta. Al Krieger's dead.
Yeah.
But Al Krieger saw it and read it. Okay? So that's true. That's very true. But I believe that's one of the many reasons John was going to kill him. And he was going to kill him before that indictment.
Mm.
Okay? So it all ties together, Jesse. Everything that I've been saying on American Made from day one, it all ties together. Unlike other people in this genre, that nothing ties together. It all ties together. Okay? He knew about Jack Russo. He knew about Scabetta. I believe Karen knew about it. Sammy's wife knew about it. Okay? I believe Sammy's daughter knew about it. Teddy Atlas knew about it. Because Sammy used to like to hang out in these gyms. What was he doing in these gyms? Okay? So it all came together. And it came together while John was on the street.
Mm.
So
yeah, I mean these Garafola sisters, you know, they're claiming that, you know, this was common knowledge in Brooklyn. I mean,
well, I don't know. I don't know if it was common knowledge, but
Yeah.
They'll say anything. They'll say
Right.
anything.
Do you think that 302 exists somewhere else? I mean, that somebody else may have it. I mean, it just seems to be coming up a lot. I mean,
Well, Al Krieger, I'm going to talk to Susan Van Dusen, Krieger's law partner, and see if I could persuade her if she could, I don't know if that's in Al's archives or what. But I'll talk to Susan. In fact, Susan wants to come on the show. She said,
that would be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, because she doesn't do interviews, but she said she would come on as a favor.
That would be good. So, you bumped into Gravano several times years ago. You knew him on the street. I mean, did you see any type of indication of any of this? I mean, you're talking about this love triangle and stuff. Did you see anything that maybe looking back years later may have indicated some of this?
As far as what?
Well, I mean, this love triangle that was going on that you're saying, that they're alleging, you were around him some. I mean,
I was around him very limited.
Yeah.
The few times I was around him was in the Ravenite, and John was always there. I never was with him in a one-on-one situation because John wouldn't permit it. And I was never subject to that. I was never, if he was someplace and either I was leaving or he was coming, but it was never. He only approached me 2 or 3 times. And Tommy Gambino was there. So, I mean, I used to get the daggers when I'd be sitting at the table from him, Yeah,
I just can't, I can't believe that, nothing against anyone and their lifestyle choices or whatever, but I just can't believe that if John had any idea, if this was true, that Sammy the Bull would be in the position of number 2, if John had any inkling that this might be a possibility.
At that point, I don't think John knew anything about his philandering, so to speak, at that point in time. When John becomes boss and Frankie gets blown up in the car, that's what elevates Sammy.
Yeah.
Because Sammy started to bring the shoeboxes around filled with the green.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was an interesting article,
Listen, if Frankie doesn't get blown up, there's no Sammy the Bull. If Jeannie Gotti takes a plea, if Jeannie Gotti takes a plea and he's out in 7 years, there's no Sammy.